I saw that you hit the record button. I'm not gonna say anything.
Welcome, come one, come all, to Between Class, as you're ducking in between your poli-sci 280 QR quantitative reasoning class and jumping into your next class. You're listening to our podcast, The Between Class. That rhymes, Morgan. I'm your host, Blake Ryerson, and as always, my co-host.
I'm Morgan.
Morgan.
Is that really how you want to start?
Yeah, that's why we're starting this.
Okay.
Numero uno. Don't worry, I'll fix it in post. You're the Spanish major. You should know what that means.
I haven't decided on that yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was thinking
you're in the Spanish class.
Yeah, I'm taking a Spanish class.
In fact, isn't your topic today about a Spanish movie?
It is. Oh my God.
You see how we wrap that in there? That's called a segue.
Can you spell that now, please, for me?
Segue?
Yeah.
Isn't it like Suegue?
Segue, yeah, something like that.
It's like, cause so there's Segway, which is Segway, which is the thing that like the one business guy rides in Happy Wheels, the video game, and then there's Segway, like the way to go in between two things.
And then there's the penny farthing, which is a bicycle with a big wheel at the front and a small wheel at the back.
Why didn't they ever make like a dual-wheeled penny farthing? Because I would 100% ride that into battle.
What does that mean? Like it's two big wheels at the front?
Exactly.
Pretty sure that's called a monster truck.
A motorized penny farthing.
Farthing.
Farthing?
Penny farthing.
Penny farthing.
Because you're getting farther off the pennies you're I don't know why they called it that. But yeah, no, I'm going to talk about a movie that I saw. A very topical movie. If you know of Alfonso Cuarón, he directed many movies such as Harry Potter, the one where there's an insane guy who escaped from prison. He directed
also known as Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, he directed Shawshank Redemption. He also directed the one where Sandra Bullock goes crazy in space.
A lot of crazy.
There's a lot of crazy things. He directed Roma, which is about a family that goes crazy after their father leaves them.
Ah.
And he directed, I don't know, something else.
He probably directed a lot
Children
of
Men,
stuff.
which is like an actual good movie.
Whoa, you're implying that Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban isn't a good movie?
Okay, like I would have all respect for like all the Harry Potter movies, except those first two. And 3 is where it got good in terms of directing. I love Daniel Radcliffe, but he did not act well.
He was a child. He's a child actor. Give him a break.
It's his third movie. But no, yeah. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about the movie that got Alfonso Cuarón his big break. Y tu mamá también.
In English,
And Your Mother Too.
And Your Mother Too. Like, to the number? Or...
As well.
Oh, really?
As in as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, like, two as in TOO and as well as the number 2. The way you said that.
But no, it's a pretty good movie. Real quick, do you have any questions about the movie?
Yeah. You were chatting to me before the podcast a little bit about it, and you mentioned that it's about two dudes who Eskimo brothers each other girlfriends, and then they kiss. And so that seems like something that I'm 100% for.
You just spoiled the movie.
Well, you spoiled the movie for me first.
I did spoil a movie. So anyway, this is gonna be all spoilers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we should say that if you're interested in watching this obscure flick, I guess
from 2001.
From 2001. Ooh, great year.
Was it?
For worldwide events on 2001.
Don't bring that up, please. Anyway, so you can really, if you're familiar with Alfonso Cuarón and his directing style, you can really see the inspiration that he took from how he directed this movie and how he put it into his other films. Specifically kind of the lingering camera, which is something very common in his films, where if you're just watching it, you'll see kind of the camera kind of pan away from whatever the main character's the protagonist, whatever the action that's happening is going on, and it kind of just focuses on something going on like in the background on the side. And because of that, this movie turns from like this story about kind of development and sexual expression and like these adolescent kids into a story that is also about like the political revolution and kind of the this government and kind of the turmoil happening at the time in the population.
Where is this movie set?
Mexico.
Mexico. Okay. What time is it set in?
2001.
So it's modern in the sense of it's set during the present of when the movie was released. So
the movie's set when it was released. Yes.
Yeah. That's a long way of saying something, but
don't overthink it. Anyway, so no, it's a great movie. It touches on a lot of themes. It's not something I recommend if you're 12 or younger.
So PG-13.
More like hard R.
Oh, damn. Okay, then.
You see some private parts.
Oh, okay.
In the first scene.
Okay,
And
so
then
like
every
a
scene after
European
that.
G, a European G,
It's a
but
European
an American
G,
X.
but an American triple X.
Triple X.
I don't know if you could release this movie in America. Like,
yeah, that's the case with a lot of
maybe
foreign
not
films.
now, and like probably not then, especially.
No, you could release it now. I bet you. You'd release it on like Netflix.
The most interesting. That's true. Wait, no, Netflix is still pretty like PG with their stuff too, though. But the thing is, though, this is the movie that got him the job for Harry Potter.
They saw this and they were like,
He's perfect. He's perfect
for this boy with a wand.
But no, it's very interesting in its style, and it has this kind of narration throughout it. And at first, when you hear it, you think it's like a kind of a gimmick. Like, it'll introduce a character, be like, this is his thing. He's dating this person, and this person's parents have this job and this job. And then this other guy is introduced, and this is this guy, and his parents are this person and this person. But, like, throughout the movie, you kind of start to realize it's painting a picture of their different lives and how they kind of relate to like each other and the different kind of classism between them and like kind of the separation between the two. One of the biggest things that kind of stands out to most people, especially me, was kind of this comment they had on, because there's the richer friend and the poorer friend, and it's like the richer friend, whenever he goes to the poorer friend's house, he always uses his foot to lift the toilet seat.
Okay. So
Kind of
like
implying like it's
classism
dirty,
tones.
like
yeah.
I can't touch it. And the poorer friend, when he's at the richer friend's house, he lights a match.
Puts his grummy hands on everything.
He touches everything.
He touches everything with his dirty, poor, filthy hands.
But the poorer friend, he lights a match whenever he goes to the bathroom at the other guy's house to hide the scent.
Oh, okay.
And there's also this thing about they go to because the whole point is them getting this woman that they meet. The wife of one of the richer friends.
Getting her roofied.
No, they want to have sex with her and like for.
So getting her roofied.
No, they don't drug her. But like the goal is to like get her to go to the beach with them and so they can sleep with her or whatever. And for various reasons, she goes with them, and decides to like do whatever. And like they end up going to the beach and they meet.
Gotcha.
This guy named Chewy.
Like, Baca.
Like he drives a boat.
Oh, okay. So a sex trafficker.
No.
Really? Dude, 2001 Mexico. Dude's name is Chewy. Drives a boat.
He's with his wife and his 2 daughters.
Oh, okay. Well, that's information that you left out.
You didn't let me get to it.
Okay.
Anyway, so and the big part of that narration right there, it kind of breaks into the movie and going like, Chewy, this is the last time he drives his boat ever again after helping them kind of giving them a tour around the beach. He soon loses his kind of his land where he lives by the hotel, and then he eventually has to end up working as the janitor at that hotel. So it's really kind of like depressing, but it gives like this background that you otherwise wouldn't get about characters that you otherwise wouldn't care about.
So like where are they now at the end of the movie, but instead of at the credits, it's just like throughout the entire thing.
Kinda. Like it's super interesting just because I watched interviews with him and Alfonso Cuarón wrote this movie with his brother in New York because he was like kind of falling out of love with kind of this medium film that he was so infatuated with. And he's decided, I'm going to make a movie that breaks like all the rules, and he did not care. He's like, we're gonna make this kind of like how we wanted to make the movies back when we were kids. Like we're gonna do whatever we want, but we're gonna like do it in a stylistic way that kind of shows that film is a fully expressive medium, both visually, audio wise, and these kind of meld together to form the unique experience of film. And that's kind of what they did.
Damn.
It's amazing. Like, it's actually amazing.
So what happens after they take her to the beach?
Okay, so like they all get drunk.
Gotcha. They roofie her.
They do not stop saying that.
You literally every single time you continue this, it's like it gets closer and closer to roofie.
Do you want to know like the actual story of like?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so like she.
This is a spoiler cast, bro.
I forgot we're spoiling it. So it's like.
Yeah, spoiler for this 17-year-old movie?
It's 18 years old by now.
18-year-old movie?
Yeah. But no one saw it because it's in Spanish, so.
Gotcha. No one speaks Spanish.
So anyway, this woman, her husband cheated on her.
Gotcha.
And at the end, it's revealed she had cancer the whole time. And she died like a month after they went to the beach.
Damn.
Yeah, so the reason that she went with them is because like she wanted to have like this life experience and kind of see a little bit of the world before she like ended up dying.
Wanted to be a little bit of Girls Gone Wild before she fucking bit it.
It's very insensitive.
It's a wacky story, bro. It's a wacky story.
It is a wacky story. But so anyway, she individually sleeps with them each during the trip. And then at the end, she is going to sleep with both of them. But they ended up making out. And it's implied that they kind of
slept together.
Maybe like you have no like certainty on any of it. Anyway, they wake up. They both leave that morning. She stays in the area. And like later in the summer, they meet up at like a coffee house or something. And they're like, "Hey, did you hear about the girl we went to this place with? Yeah, she had cancer. No one knew. She didn't tell anyone." And they're like, "Yeah, I have one of them's like, "Yeah, I have a girlfriend now." One of them's like, "Yeah, I'm doing whatever." And then the ending narration for the whole movie is right after they say, "Hey, I'll talk to you soon." The narration goes, "They never spoke again."
Oh, damn.
And that's the ending of the movie.
And then, like, one of them walks away with their fist in the air, and it plays, "Don't you forget about me."
Yeah, it was really weird. Like,
I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby.
Stop. We gotta stop now. We don't have the rights to that music. Gonna get flagged. Anyway, that's Y Tu Mamá También. It's an amazing movie. I highly recommend it.
Yes, as a bisexual person, I really enjoy the fact that there's just like this random makeout scene, but this from my perspective as someone who has not watched this movie and probably will never watch this movie, just because I have a lot of things on my list, not because I don't want to, but it's just, hey, I'm a busy man. I got stuff to do. I got people to punch, crack to smoke, you know.
I can just like constantly be describing this movie to you if you want.
Yeah, do it, man.
Like every day, I'll just keep running through the plot.
Every day, do a different scene. It'll be like an audiobook. Find the script and then do like the voices. Start now. What's the opening?
So he's having sex with his girlfriend.
Which one? Guy A or Guy B?
His name's Tenoch.
Tenoch?
It's the rich kid.
The rich kid?
Yeah, he's the rich kid. His name's Tenoch.
Tenoch.
And his girlfriend's going away to Italy.
Okay.
And he's like, "Don't you dare have sex with another man."
And then he's like, "I'm gonna get my dick wet tonight."
Yeah, basically. Yeah, no, they're not good people in this movie. Like, no one's like a good person.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Joker.
Don't bring up the Joker with me, please.
We live in a society, bro.
Please stop. Please don't. Anyway. Do you have anything you want to talk about? A topic at all?
I finished Max Payne.
You finished the first one?
The first Max Payne, yes.
So tell me about that.
So, here's the story about Max Payne. There's a dude. His name's Max Payne. I know, right? Shocking. And he works as a detective. His life is super good. He's got a wife, and they just got a baby daughter. And he comes home one day, and there's these drugged out junkies that kill his wife and daughter. And it's like, whoa, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's really this, like, imagine John Woo cross crime noir. with a little bit of 80s action movie in it is the tone. Like cutscenes are described in comic book, which is like live action. It's really obvious that it's developers, because this game is old. Like I think it came out in like the
98.
98. There we go. Boom. It came out in 98, and I know it came out before 2001 because everywhere the game's set in New York, and of course the skyline is dominated by the Twin Towers.
That was the most recognizable thing at the time.
Oof, did not age well, that part of the game.
Well, didn't they do that in what was it, Deus Ex, like one of the first ones?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff. There's like an old Raimi Spider-Man that has like him in like a web between the two towers poster that they had to take down.
That was like the first trailer that came out, because that was supposed to be the end of the movie where he caught like the helicopter between the Twin Towers. And they ended up changing the ending of the first Spider-Man. But the thing about Deus Ex was they couldn't render the skyline with the Twin Towers in them.
Oh yeah.
So they added a story beat where they said like there was a terrorist attack that took down the Twin Towers. It was this weird kind of moment of just like overlap where like the things reflected what happened in real life by accident.
It's like in Super Mario Galaxy, you are Mr. Gay.
What are you talking about?
So in all right, real quick tangent before we go into Max Payne a bit further.
This is all tangents. We're not talking about Max Payne at all.
Okay, I see. But in Super Mario, in the title of Super Mario Galaxy, you can go down the middle and you'll see like you are at the end of Super.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
From Mario or something like that, MR, then Gay from Galaxy. So you get Super Mario Galaxy becomes you are Mr. Gay. Google it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, I didn't think so. Anyway, Max Payne. So the whole story follows Max Payne as he becomes this undercover agent for the DEA because he's trying to find out what's up with this drug called Valkyr, because Valkyr was the drug that these guys are in. It's like heroin plus crack. It turns people into crazy killing machines that are really hard to beat in game.
I love it when developers are like, we need like a new thing, like for people to be like in a story. It's like we need a new drug for people to be hooked on. So they don't invent a new drug. They're just like, what if we mix these two drugs together? That'd be great.
It's just like it's just superhero serum that makes you go crazy as well.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's green juice. It's green slime. It's Hulk. You did a weird head tilt when I said Hulk.
I was trying to keep this podcast a little bit PG.
Oh, sorry.
That's why I talked about Itumar.
I'll bleep that out in post. Don't worry, we got it. And the game itself is a Remedy. So the game's made by Remedy.
Yeah.
Finnish developer. I think they're Finnish. And
what did they finish?
So that's it for the podcast, everybody. No.
Okay, they're
Remedy. They recently came out with Control. They released really good stuff, and they sort of got their start here. Well, I wouldn't say they got their start, because that's not true, but they definitely broke out, because Max Payne was a hit. It's essentially a third-person shooter, but there's like no cover base, and the gimmick is that you can do these stunts where you can slow down time. Essentially like one of the earliest bullet time video games. And it was really, really good. I had a lot of fun playing with it. The ending's awesome. I was really giddy, which is a good feeling to have when you're playing a video game. The only problem with it is that it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is a brutal video game. And I was playing it at the easily the easiest difficulty. Like, it wasn't even gonna let me choose another difficulty, and I had to save scum the frick out of it. Like, which if you don't know what save scumming is that in PC games, when you can save wherever you want, essentially like you clear one room of enemies and then you immediately save, and then you go into the next room of enemies. So like if you die, you don't restart at the checkpoint, which there are no checkpoints. The checkpoint is the beginning of the game, of the level.
That's Seriously?
Yes. I mean, this is an old game, but at the same time, there's like cutscenes in game, so you can interact with the world, and it's actually pretty fun, like running around and turning on TVs and stuff, and like watching these parody shows. But there's points where you'll interact with like a newspaper or something, and Max will read it, and I'll go into this graphic novel cutscene thing, which, like I said earlier, is obviously just shot in live action and then photoshopped the heck out of. It looks fine. It does look fine.
Was this kind of the big game that like got Remedy on the map?
Yes, 100%. I want to say they I think they were already out there, but then this is the one that really exploded. In fact, the model for Max and his actor in the everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody in the comics, like, and everybody in the all the models were all developers. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Because like if you look at the actual voice actor and like the head writer of Max Payne, he 100% looks like Max.
Maybe Max looks like him. Maybe Max stole his identity.
Yeah, maybe. As he went undercover. But yeah, the game is super hard, and also it's really, really tight quartered. Like, it's a lot of hallways, and it's pretty frustrating because you don't get a lot of time. So there's a couple of levels where you're in a lot of wide open spaces. Those are the best levels because you get space to like jump around and do your sick moves and like dives.
Jump around.
Jump up, and get
down. Exactly.
Jump. Like Mario, anyway. But most of the level is in these tight corridors and hallways, so you don't get to move around as much. And so you'll like dive, and then you'll hit the wall. All the bullets will hit you because you're in like a 5-foot space, and then you'll die because after you get shot by like a M16 3 times in this game, you're toast.
I like toast.
Yeah, but
butter and jelly actually. Like,
it's a really fun game.
Both of them because it's the saltiness of the butter, but it's like the sweetness of the jelly.
I don't like jelly.
You like jelly?
I don't like jelly. I'm a peanut butter guy.
You know you can have both.
I know. I refuse. Yes, I refuse. Anyway, so the story goes is that he's undercover with the DEA. He's with a mob, the Punchinello mob. All these names are great. We got names like Punchinello, Finito. Those are the ones that I actually just remember off the top of my head.
Molto bene, macaroni.
Yeah, it's like really fake Italian, but really like obvious. There's Boris Dime is another name.
He's Russian, right?
Yeah, he is actually a Russian character. There's a lot of good
Russian
names.
to?
What?
What's he Russian to?
What's he Russian to? He's Russian to betray Vladimir, my man. There's a point in the game where you meet this rival gang, the Russian mafia, and you just like work for them for a little bit, and like the head of it, Vladimir, is this really bad like Russian accent dude, and he's just awesome. Like, he's probably my favorite character in the entire game, which is sort of sad because he's only in it for the first 2 parts. Anyway, what happens is he gets framed for murdering his DEA contact, Alex, when in reality it's one of the Punchinellos that set him up. But they were ordered to set him up.
Not the Punchyellos.
Yes. So what he does is that he kills essentially the entire mob family, all while discovering that they were the ones that are making and selling all the Valkyr. Sorry.
No, the Vampire. They're vampires?
Shut up. That's a different game.
It's Blade.
Yes. The Valkyr, and at least they're selling it. And so after you kill them, you discover that there's this faux government organization. So there's a so there was in the Gulf War, there was a like super soldier program called Project Valhalla.
This is Marvel. I knew it.
It sort of is. It's a lot of Punisher vibes. Because Max Payne's always on this revenge quest for the people who killed his family.
Oh, that is like Frank Castle, the Punisher.
Yeah, the only difference is that he's not a World War veteran.
He's a Gulf War veteran. He's a paintball war veteran.
He is a paintball war veteran. It is. I was actually thinking sometimes, like, I let the little inner nerd in me go like,
paint.
Yeah, I let the inner nerd in me think really like, who would win in a fight? the Punisher or Max Payne. But anyway,
Probably the Punisher.
yeah. So it's this. So this Project Valhalla turned out to create this Valkyr drug because Valkyr is like this Valkyrie or something, like a specific Norse angel. Valkyrie, whatever.
Well, the Valkyrie are like the guardians of Asgard and of.
They're like they take the warriors to Valhalla or something like that.
Yeah, they're like Odin's like guard.
Yeah.
Or something.
So anyway, they created this drug. Then the Gulf War ended and they got shut down. But one of the head people of this just created their own pharmaceutical company and started creating this drug and using it to fund their pharmaceutical company. So that's sort of the end, and then you kill her in a really awesome way. It actually isn't that awesome. I was sort of disappointed. But it is pretty cool because there's no final boss fight, which is disappointing. But you drop a giant like radio pole onto a helicopter, which then falls like 40 stories, and then the helicopter platform collapses onto it. It's pretty epic.
Really? Because if I made a Max Payne, like my final boss fight would be him falling out of an airplane, but it's all in slow motion, so he's like tumbling.
So it's the tone is sort of weird where it's like it's not exactly that goofy, but at the same time like there's fourth wall breaks. Like there's a point in it where he gets injected with a lethal dose of Valkyr, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm in a video game."
The drug gives you the power to break the fourth wall.
I guess so, yeah. Which is it's pretty funny, but it's a really good game. Like I love Max's voice and the tone because he's like, because the whole thing is set during the winter, and so there'll be scenes where he's like, the blizzard covered up the city much like the crime, fervent, wild. The city says it never sleeps, but in this type of weather, it's hibernating. So like that's where the noir comes in. I did not do a good job of describing it off the top of my head, but it's really worth it. In fact, give me a second. I'm gonna Google some of the lines of dialogue right now so I can read them off. No, seriously, because it is really
please.
good.
Next topic.
I mean, I guess we can go into news.
No, I want to talk about Borderlands.
Oh yeah, you've been playing Borderlands too.
I've been playing a crap ton of Borderlands. Too much, actually.
Borderlands.
Okay, so I never played the first Borderlands. I'm starting with the second one.
As you should.
Oh, okay.
I think you should. I think that's a valid thing. I think a lot of people did that.
Anyway, so it's good. It's a good game. You've talked about the writing, how it's not good. I think you're wrong. I think the writing for Borderlands 2 is pretty good.
My counter, Claptrap.
Yeah, but like he's the butt of the joke. That's the point. He's an annoying character, but he's meant to be annoying. Like he's there not to like make you be like, oh, thank God Claptrap's here. It's more like, God damn it, Claptrap's here.
Exactly. You hate it. Also, some of the jokes really do fall flat.
No, they're not all great, but I feel like the
I think
main
most
story...
of them are bad.
Well, your sense of comedy is like different than mine, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Like they don't always pay off, but like I'm in the story. I'm not like going, oh, I hate doing this. I'm like, no, this is interesting. I like kind of the relationships they're extending on. They bring back people from the first game. Mainly, the first couple are Roland and Lilith. Then Mordecai they bring in, and they expand on like those characters and who they are really, because they're playable characters in the first one, so they're not much of characters.
Yeah. They're sort of blank slates that you'll find audio tapes for. And I guess let's get this out of the way right now. My biggest gripe with not the game, but you playing the game is that you're constantly saying that this game is like BioShock.
Because it's so much like BioShock. Oh my God, it's so much like BioShock. BioShock to me is like the original looter shooter. Apparently. Not to the same extent. It's like, I understand like BioShock and like Borderlands are very different. And Borderlands is like more like if you took Diablo and you made it a first-person shooter.
Yes, thank you. But then you say stuff like you say stuff like, oh, well, there's superpowers in both games.
It's not.
Well, that's what you're doing. It's like, well, yeah, you have special abilities that you need to collect and upgrade. And I'm like, ah, yes. So Mario, when you already have the mushroom and you hit a question mark block, it has a fire flower. Also, you have to upgrade your upgrades and make them get stronger. Therefore, Mario and BioShock are like really the same game.
My point was that a lot of the looting aspects of running from locker to locker and place to place, like collecting money and bullets and guns and whatever, it's a little bit like BioShock, along kind of with a little bit of the progression system and how like you up your health and stuff. Because in Borderlands, it's a level-based system. In BioShock, it's kind of a mission progression-based thing. But like they're different, but I feel like playing them, they feel very similar.
It's because they're both first-person shooters.
It's more than that. There's more elements of the games that overlap. And I don't know why you get so angry whenever I say this.
Because it's saying something really, really dumb. I really do think that. I think it's stupid for you to say that Borderlands and BioShock are so similar. They're not. Not even close. They're both first-person shooters. That's about it. In Call of Duty, you switch weapons from characters you drop. In Call of Duty, you search areas for secrets.
Who would Call of Duty searching areas for secrets? You're not picking
It's called intel. There's it's collectibles, bro.
I've never played a Call of Duty game.
You've never played it. All right, this is a way bigger story than Borderlands. You've never played a Call of Duty game.
Why would I? I've played like multiplayer with friends, like.
Okay, so you've played a Call of Duty game.
Yeah, but I've never like gone in and had my own Call of Duty game, which I played like the campaign, and then like I'd also like after I finished that and there's nothing else to do, I'd go play multiplayer for hours and hours and hours.
Well, I mean that's sort of weird because Call of Duty is a lot of people's like entry game.
I didn't have an Xbox.
I didn't have an Xbox either, bro.
Or a PlayStation. I didn't have a PlayStation either.
Guess what? Modern Warfare came out of the Wii. You have no excuse.
It did come out for the Wii. I saw that.
What were you playing on? Like the Neo Geo?
Do you want to know the consoles I had growing up?
Yeah. Let's do this right now.
I had the NES, I had the SNES, and I had a Wii.
So you were a Nintendo boy.
I also had a PlayStation 1, which I sold.
Why did you sell? You sold the PlayStation 1?
Yeah, for like $30.
I'm about to spin kick you upside the head, boy. And you still haven't played Metal Gear Solid, I bet.
No, why would I? Don't hit me.
You said that just to make me mad. If
I wanted to make you mad, I could say so many more things.
That's one of them.
Can I start talking about MOBAs now? He doesn't like MOBAs. I don't like MOBAs that much either, but like he gets physically mad whenever I bring up the word MOBA.
I have no response but more rage.
Okay,
news.
Let's do news.
We didn't even talk about Borderlands 3. Do you want to talk about Borderlands 3?
Well,
not Borderlands 3, Borderlands 2. Have you beaten Borderlands 2?
I'm halfway through about.
You halfway through?
Yeah.
Really? I think you're further than halfway.
I don't know. I think I'm halfway through.
Really? It feels like you're halfway through?
I'm
pretty sure you're at least 37. I mean, not 37. 75.
I think I'm 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like.
How about this? When you finish it, we'll talk about it more.
When I finish it, I'll play the DLC because you have the Handsome Jack collection.
Yes. He's playing it off of my stuff because I am a kind soul with generous in my gamerdom.
I brought the futon.
You did bring the futon, but I brought the TV, the PlayStation. I brought a lot of things in this relationship. We're codependent.
I don't need you. But no, yeah, I'll talk about it more when I finish it.
Borderlands 2 in-depth coming soon to Between Class.
Sounds good. So now we're going on to the news section, which we're calling...
The news section.
Exactly. So where I was going with that.
Exactly.
Okay. So what do we
call that one a layup and a slam dunk.
I never played baseball. So what's the first thing you want to talk about?
It's a football term. So the first bit of news we got up here is some movie news because, hey, there's actually movies exist. So the first thing I'm going to say is that while I was looking for movie news, ScreenRant.com's front page, as of the time of recording this, has, of the first 15 news articles, one of them is about not a movie sequel or a movie series, two of which are about movie series that, like, so it's this one, and then the one after this. Both of those are the only two articles that aren't Disney-owned properties. Everything else is Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm not.
What's wrong with that?
It means Disney has a monopoly on entertainment.
It's not a monopoly yet.
Bruh.
Dude, the two big companies right now are Warner Brothers and Disney.
Wrong. The two companies are Warner Brothers and Disney's. There's one big company. It's Disney.
I feel like there's a
Actually,
mix.
no. Joker's making it. The Joker is about to society Warner Brothers into second place.
You know, you've been making fun of Joker this entire time. I can't wait for you to see it and say it's good.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be good, but that doesn't mean that we don't live in a society.
I don't like that. Okay, so tell me about the news.
So Apple Movies is going to release, reportedly, their movies in theaters weeks before their streaming service. So it sort of is another reason to not buy Apple TV Plus extra.
I don't necessarily think that. Like, based on what you just said, don't you respect Apple more because they're making original content?
I mean, I do. I really do. But at the same time, it's a really stupid reason to have, like, frickin', like, all right, we're gonna advertise Apple exclusive movies that are going to release in theaters. Like, imagine if all the good Netflix movies released in theaters before they were on Netflix.
Well, actually, this is...
What if Stranger Things was a theater release, was a television release, and then was on Netflix?
You wouldn't release Stranger Things on theaters because it's a TV show.
Yeah, but what if it had a normal television run and then was on Netflix? Like, people would watch the reruns, but it wouldn't be a selling point of the Netflix series.
Well, this is very interesting because I now see this as Apple kind of trying to push itself as its own production house for film. So it's actually trying to burst into that market where, like, Warner Brothers and Disney...
Well, it sure as hell has the funds to.
It does have the funds to. They've been selling all those iPhones with 3 cameras.
Exactly.
Looks so
God,
bad.
that looks so ugly.
So bad.
I saw those. Somebody already has those in my communications class.
That's amazing.
I saw it, and like he went up there and he made a speech about how he's getting cyberbullied, and I really understood it and stuff. And
Was he
like,
wearing AirPods as he said that?
Well, yeah. Well, and like cyberbullying's a serious thing. Yada yada yada. Don't commit suicide. But at the same time, when he was talking about that, I was like, bro, your iPhone has 3 cameras. Like, I'm about to drop kick you right now.
Dude, you're allowed to buy the phone you want. It's just like, I view it, I'm like, it's a stupid design.
Yeah, you're allowed to make an absolute fool of yourself by buying a phone with 3 cameras, bro.
Don't be insensitive, man.
I'm not being insensitive.
He appreciates that 3rd camera. Now he can get the extra wide view.
The extra wide view.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like in old rap videos where they had like the gyroscope ball. You know, in Humble, where he's like on the bicycle and he's like makes it seem like it's like a small planet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. That's what Apple can do now.
I'm actually interested in the Apple streaming service. Are you not?
No, I'm not interested in any streaming services besides Disney Plus, and only Disney Plus because it's going to have so much in it because Disney owns everything. That's the only reason. I'm not interested in Apple Plus.
I'm curious in how much Apple's front-loading their stuff because they have to in order to make it. And apparently the Apple Arcade thing launched.
Yes,
and apparently it's good.
I'm not surprised. I'm not going to get it.
I'm going to look into it more. I might. I
The only
don't
game-
have enough money to get it, but
The only game that I would be interested in on that platform is Sayonara Wild Hearts, and that also released on the PlayStation 4, and I have it on the PS4. I just haven't played it yet.
okay.
So, whoops, dropped. But anyway, really dumb move by Apple Movies, I feel. I feel like you should release them simultaneously at least.
No, it's a business strategy. They're trying to make more money off of it, which makes sense.
I guess so, but like
No, if you can make money in theaters, but while also
Yeah,
providing
yeah.
it
So then
exclusively on your
here's
streaming
my
services.
thing. Here's my thing. Have it be a limited release in theaters, and then like after 2 weeks, take them off theaters and put them on Apple Plus. But this makes it. This headline implies that it's going to be like it's going to be almost like a DVD release or a Blu-ray release.
Well, yeah, and I think it's fair to have that opinion right now, but also this is a reported. No, it's not anything official that Apple said, so we kind of just have to wait until. When does this release?
Apple TV Plus releases November 1st.
Oh, wow, that's quick.
Yeah, it's soon. The streaming war is coming.
Yeah.
It is coming, which means that torrent is about to explode.
Torrent's already big. I don't know why.
It dropped. Piracy has dropped, and now it's rising again.
That's true.
Streaming. Streaming's about to become the new meme technology. Because
you're not wrong. I mean, like, we'll see how everything kind of.
It's gonna be the new boomer tech. Anyway,
jeez.
This is one that a lot of people are talking about.
Oh, I love
Spider-Man. He's back. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web, he's ignored. Action is his reward. Look out. Here comes the Spider-Man.
Please take that out in the edit.
It'll just be one long tone. Just be beep.
No. Okay, so Spider-Man's back in the MCU. I never thought he was really gone.
You never believed that?
I had hope in my heart. But
you hoped he was gone?
No, I hoped that no. I saw what was going on. I heard what was going on. So originally Disney was getting 5% of the day one.
I thought it was 75-25, and then
no. That's the new deal.
Okay.
So originally, before this whole kind of thing happened, Disney was getting 5% of the, I think, opening day or opening weekend kind of gross for whatever film, for whatever Spider-Man solo film, and then Sony got the rest. And then it's probably something to do with merchandising. And then Disney came in after, Endgames got big. The deal was probably in the works for a long time, but it was revealed that Disney came to Sony as like, we want 50% of everything. Which Sony was understandably kind of like not happy with, because Sony wants money too.
Yes, how dare Sony? How dare Sony, of all the small companies and small media empire, be like, no, Disney, I will not give you the Spider-Boy. And then hard, bad, evil Disney was like, I need money. I'm gonna starve.
Well, Disney did this on purpose. It's the reason that they kind of, I think, got big is because Disney kind of leaked this, like, oh, Sony, like, walked away from the table, and they're taking away Spider-Man. And
Sony is taking away your Spider-Man. Give me 50%.
Well, no, they framed it as in, like, Sony's being the bad guy in this, which is kind of how it ended up working
Wrong.
out.
They're both the bad guy.
They're both billion-dollar corporations, which is kind of what got public opinion on Marvel's side, because everyone's like, they love Spider-Man in the Marvel.
Yeah, because oh my God, MCU. Oh, MCU, it's so good. Look at my flat cap. I have big axe man from movie.
Leave it alone.
Aim
leave
for
it
the
alone.
head.
Leave it
Aim
alone.
for the head.
Leave it alone. But and I never thought for a second, even when Sony said like the negotiations are closed, I'm like, Sony's not gonna walk away from this. They like having kind of
money.
They like having money. They like having someone overseeing their movies because Sony knows, I'm pretty sure, that they don't have the best history with Spider-Man movies.
They have the Sam Raimi series.
Yeah, which 2/3 of them are good, and then they made another. That was back in the early 2000s, though.
Yeah, we just talked about it. Twin Towers.
Yeah, so
Saving the Helicopter.
Then they made Spider-Man 3. This is the actual order: Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then Venom. Those were the Sony movies. Well, no, sorry, Spider-Verse and then Venom. And the only reason Spider-Verse did anything is because they got two very good creatives on board.
Exactly. They had a passion. It was a passion project.
Yeah.
And it still barely made money because people don't like to see cartoons.
It's true. It's sadly true.
That is legit the reason.
No,
I'm not trying to be like, oh, well, why are you making animated movies? People don't like cartoons. No, that is legit the reason, because there are so small-brained people on this planet that are like, today I will not watch cartoon. Misses like a lot of so much good storytelling, but is completely clueless about it. It makes me mad.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
a problem. And like, as Spider-Verse is like an amazing movie, but like, going back to like what I said, so what ended up happening is Disney now gets 25% of the gross, and Spider-Man's going to appear in one more solo movie and one more kind of exchange
Team movie?
Yeah, team movie or something. Like, and after that, I don't know. They might have to strike another deal after that, or just see what happens. It's a weird place to be in for this multi-billion-dollar company of Marvel and the MCU that has to kind of deal with another company just to get the rights to one of their biggest characters that they've been using for the past 3 years now.
The real losers in this fight are people who were defending Disney and Marvel. Like, and I don't say losers as in losers and winners. I say losers as in, like, you are a loser. You are a freaking nerd, and you have lost life. Like, those people that are defending Disney from this are people whose boyfriends bought them, whose wife's boyfriends bought them a Switch. Sorry,
That's a little harsh.
I'm trying to make a cuckold joke. I didn't mean to be homophobic.
It's a little harsh, but like, no. The thing that most people don't understand though is that these are billion-dollar corporations. They appreciate your public outcry, but they don't need it really.
Well, yeah, they Disney literally used you. If you defended them, congratulations, you have been used. It's like the one song. Some of them want to use you.
Okay.
Some of them.
But no, like personally, I'm happy to see kind of what they do with Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make good movies.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see how they kind of do it. If they end up retiring him a little bit, even because of this deal, they might have to like fix it into their movies.
Kill him off.
I'm interested to see what they do with him as a character using Tom Holland and his Spider-Man.
Oh, I think I know what they're gonna do. I'm calling it, because this is something that like some fanboys would lose their shit over. They're gonna do the clone Spider-Man
No
storyline,
not
and
gonna
so
do
it's well, I mean, I don't think Sony has that, because Sony has some Spider-Man stuff, and they don't have all of it.
They have all of it.
No, they don't. They don't have the Vulture Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, they have Vulture.
Well, then why was Vulture able to?
Because that's how they made the deal, where Spider-Man was in the MCU. That was an MCU movie.
So, yeah, but MCU doesn't have.
Sony has all Spider-Man properties and all Spider-Man adjacent properties, so all of his villains, all of his kind of love interest, they own all those characters.
Oh, okay. I thought Marvel owned some.
No, Marvel owns a select kind of few bits, but most, or next to all of the Spider-Man related characters, are owned by Sony. Which really limits kind of what Marvel can do to replace him, because it's not like you can bring in a Miles Morales because they own him too. It's not like you can bring in a Silk or a Spider-Gwen or anything like that because Marvel owns them. Sony owns them too.
Create a new Spider-Man called Arachnakid.
There was a name they had for Spider-Man.
Kid.
No, they had like Night Monkey or something.
Yeah, I legit thought that's what they were gonna do.
That was
they
a
were just
joke.
Gonna make a Night Monkey.
That was like
series.
a tweet that came out like after the original deal fell through, and Sony's like, we're not giving Spider-Man back. They're like, why don't they just like keep him and call him Night Monkey?
Exactly. I mean, unironically do that. So
that's Spider-Man.
One more superhero shit, because that's all people can talk about these days. Hulu and Marvel's Ghost Rider TV show will not be happening. Dead before arrival. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say here.
So this is the Marvel.
Who can say whether...
You're singing too many songs, man. Too many songs. I'm making too many country puns. You're singing too many songs. But no, I'm the Marvel person here. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, it's not that I don't like Marvel. I'm just tired.
No, like I get this, but I assume this was run. I haven't read into this story, but I assume this was run by the Marvel TV division.
Yes,
which is notoriously bad.
Yeah, and aren't they like currently on fire or something like that? Like all their Netflix stuff is getting canceled. All of their TV shows, like actual TV shows.
Well, that's just kind of
canceled.
like a rights thing that's happening because of the Disney streaming service. It's like we're discounting a lot of. Because the original idea for a lot of the early Marvel shows, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil and Jessica Jones, were that they were part of the MCU, but they didn't like kind of go back and forth. It's kind of just this thing where it's like the TV shows will kind of reference the movies, and the movies don't give a crap about the TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there was some good stuff in there. Like the first season of Daredevil is amazing. First season of Jessica Jones is amazing. I don't know what happened after that, but
Yeah, they were like, the lead writers on both of those shows were like, let's get in a car together and drive really close to a Californian cliff. Oh no!
well, the showrunner on the first season of Daredevil was Stephen S. DeKnight, who's a pretty good showrunner. He worked on Stranger Things. He directed a couple episodes of that, which is a good show, in my opinion.
Stranger Things is good.
Stranger Things is good. And then he left, but also Jessica Jones turned out good, which is why I'm like, maybe this isn't like an entirely bad thing. Maybe
it wasn't a fluke.
It wasn't a fluke, and then.
But then it was a fluke.
It was a fluke. I haven't watched any of those shows past Defenders. I never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
The big problem though was the Ike Perlmutter. Do you know about this?
No. Explain.
God, this is a long story. So Ike Perlmutter was kind of one of the guys that helped bail Marvel out in the 90s. So, Marvel was... Everyone's like, well, Marvel's like always been big. They were going into bankruptcy or filing for bankruptcy back in the 90s because comic books...
That's how they lost all their rights.
That's how they lost all their characters because they started like negotiating contracts for the film rights and everyone. So that's how... Sorry.
Sick boy alert.
Stop it. That's how Hulk ended up at Universal. That's how... I think it was like...
Wait, is that why there's no Hulk movies anymore?
There's a couple reasons for that. One, people have said that Hulk doesn't work as a solo character.
Yeah.
And two, because Universal has partial movie rights to them, which is why it kind of feels weird to watch that first Hulk movie, which is still in the MCU. And also why they he's only been in teen movies since then, because it's kind of like a loophole where they can put him with other characters and they don't have to like get Universal's involvement.
I see.
So Fantastic Four and the X-Men were at Fox, which is now back at Disney. Hulk was at Universal, and all that, and Spider-Man was owned by Sony for the film rights. And then what happened was, so Ike Perlmutter helped bail them out, and then Marvel started to start making movies, and Marvel would get a certain percent of gross for the movies that got made, like for Blade and for
which are big movies. Blade was a hit.
Blade had 3 movies. There was the 2 Fantastic Four movies. I think they got a little bit for each of those. Spider-Man.
The original Spider-Man.
But the thing is, though, it was a very small amount. Like, it wasn't anything worth bragging about. It was enough to keep them afloat, along with them just also selling off their characters and being bailed out by billionaires. So Ike Perlmutter was on the board and kind of for the chair, one of the chairs, during this whole process of them going through making the MCU. Which is mostly led by Kevin Feige and those kinds of people. Which I don't care if you hate on the MCU specifically, Blake.
I criticize it. I don't say I hate on it.
I think it's a great achievement in terms of.
Oh yeah. I can recognize that China, the Great Wall of China is one of the largest wonders of the world, and then I can also be like, yeah, but it did shit to keep the Mongols out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. It was around Avengers when the Marvel movies started to get really big, and it kind of grew from there. And then Joss Whedon, who was directing the second Avengers movie, he had a lot of complaints and stuff, and they kind of forced him to make the same movie-ish, which is why Age of Ultron kind of seems disappointing.
Age of Ultron, sort of not good.
And then certain people went to the board to kind of get Ike Perlmutter kicked off because apparently he was one of the reasons that
Age of Ultron was sort of not good.
He was apparently it was reported that he was the one saying, we found a formula, now we have to stick to that formula because this is what makes money.
Oh yeah, because ever since Ultron, I almost said Ultraman, ever since Ultron, Marvel hasn't stick to formula.
They have and they haven't. Like, they've done some interesting things outside of that. Like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't change it completely, but they kind of, without his involvement, were able to make stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy created the formula.
Guardians of the Galaxy created the modern kind of interpretation. That's not the point. But
yes, this isn't a comic book movie podcast. This isn't the Nerd Crew.
So anyway,
That's a Red Letter Media reference.
Stop it. So anyway, they got him off the board. Apparently, there's some other problems about like him being kind of sexist and racist too. I'm not going to get into that because that's not.
I mean, he's an old white billionaire.
Yeah,
so it comes with the title.
But apparently, though, he was still on the board for all the Marvel TV stuff.
Oh.
So he would be pushing things like we need to get this character out here and this character out here, and it's not. I don't think he's the best person to be on the board when you're doing a creative project.
Yeah, it sounds like he's not. So you heard it first. Ike Perlmutter single-handedly walked up with a gun in his hand, allegedly, to the head writer of the Ghost Rider series, and allegedly beat him within an inch of his life with the pistol, and was like, "I will pee on your bed if you don't cancel this show." Allegedly.
You always take it one step a little bit too far.
That's one step too far, dude? I think that's like as many steps as it took Ike to get to the head writer too far.
So yeah, so that's the state of Marvel TV, but that's not really. Oh, what's this? What do you got?
So up next we got Respawn revives Medal of Honor with Above and Beyond. So it's a VR game by Respawn, which is one of my personal favorite video game developers. Love them. Love Respawn. Play Titanfall 2. Please play Titanfall 2. Please play Titanfall 2. Please play Titanfall 2.
I think they heard you.
Yeah, but you got to do it after that to make sure that they know to play Titanfall 2, because please play Titanfall 2. Anyway, they announced this Oculus game. I believe it's solely for the Oculus at the Oculus Connect 6 convention. And it's a new Medal of Honor title, and it's VR, and it's shooter, and I just wanted to say that that's pretty dope. I hope Respawn does a really good job with VR, because Titanfall in VR sounds absolutely awesome and epic. Thoughts?
I have no opinion on
this. This one is 100% my story. This is my baby.
Yeah, no, sorry. Like I said, I don't really have a console. I never played any Respawn games, really. I know you love them. Like, I'm happy for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy for you, Blake.
I'm happy for you. I am.
I'm happy that I'm happy. So now I just need to save it for a goddamn Oculus or just read the reviews. Hopefully, it'll be good. God, I hope it's good. EA, please don't kill my baby. But into more interesting news for both of us. Last of Us 2 wants to solve the problem of companions being ignored by enemies. And I don't like this. This spells danger to me.
Okay, so you never played Last of Us.
You never played Last of Us.
Neither of us played Last of Us. I think I watched a playthrough.
But I know a little bit about game like theory and what makes a good game.
I love MatPat too.
That's the title. Morgan loves MatPat.
Please don't make that the title.
You cannot stop me.
We'll talk about this later. Anyway, so like I know kind of companion characters in video games have been a problem for a long time, and like how do you work with it? Do you have them be part of the system where like you constantly have to save them, like in terms of what was it? Resident Evil 4 is kind of the mechanics for that. Usually companion missions are annoying in games. And so the main solution that modern games have been kind of running through since the mid 2010s has been you just have the companion character not be part of the game, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like the AI will just ignore them, they'll walk around them, they won't kind of notice them, they won't try to attack them. It was kind of the BioShock Infinite method of you have a companion, she throws you things, she's used to like open certain doors or whatever, but other than that, she's not going to get hurt. You don't have to protect her. You don't have to really worry about her. And it was the same thing in Last of Us, where you had Ellie for the longest time as your companion character, and you'd be hiding around a corner, and she'd be hiding around kind of a different corner,
and she'd like walk out, and enemies wouldn't.
And like enemies would just ignore her and walk through her, and like and that's kind of their way of, that was Naughty Dog's way of like kind of going, this isn't a character you have to watch out for. It's still first person action, over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a third person action game. Like, it's not something where you kind of have to be like looking like, Ellie, what you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, because like that would kind of take out the pacing and kind of ruin the momentum you have of gameplay in the moment. So, what do you think they mean by this?
I hope to God this is what they're going to do. I hope to God that they're going to do a almost tactical AI system where you can command your AI companions to be in certain areas. Like, for example, you sneak to this location and take cover there, or you wait here and I'll go over there. Because if the AI is going to do things on its own, then it better be damn near perfect. Because there's nothing more frustrating than having something out of your control ruining a mission for you.
I agree with you, kind of, but also Naughty Dog doesn't feel like the company that's going to be doing the tactical stuff where like you're controlling characters.
Well, that's the only thing they can do, because if they have it be like last time, except like their companion is being noticed, that game's going to be like drop a single point. People will hate that.
I feel like it's going to be section based because they just released, I assume, their second to last or maybe last trailer, probably second to last before before Last of Us 2.
When is it coming out?
February 2020. So we got another 5 months or something. I'm not gonna do the math. But no, like based on that trailer, it shows a decent amount of kind of story and gameplay. Like I still don't. You have the idea of like what the goal is, but that's about it. And it also kind of gives you the idea that Joel's not going to be in it as much, and that you're going to be playing mostly as Ellie. So I don't know how this companion thing's going to work, because it feels like it's going to be mostly a solid...
So maybe the companion bit is... Maybe they're just going to be noticeable, but it's going to be such a small part of the game that...
I think there's going to be specific sections where you have a companion character, and maybe you'll be playing as Joel for a little bit or something.
I always imagined it would be Elle and her girlfriend.
Her girlfriend died.
What?
There's the DLC for Last of Us 1, where that's where she got bit and her girlfriend died. And then in this new trailer, she has another girlfriend. I'm pretty sure that's the whole point of the game. Some people kill her.
Ugh!
She loses another girlfriend.
What is it with killing lesbians is a thing? Killing lesbians is a thing.
This is a new way to get the player emotionally invested in the game. If you kill a lesbian...
Kill a lesbian. Doesn't even have to be a main character. Just be like... Have a character with a sign that says, I'm a lesbian, and then just like, red dot sight, boom.
New trending games. You're killing lesbians.
Killing lesbians is better
So
than
bad.
anything. Fallout 4. Save your son? No. They killed your lesbian wife.
It's not so bad.
But seriously though, killing lesbians is a thing. Look it up. TV tropes. Killing lesbians is a thing.
I'll look that up later. I don't... But, like, I think there's going to be specific kind of design sections where it's going to be more shootout based, where it's like you're just going to be shooting this other along the pathway or whatever. So it's going to be you and the companion character, and you're both going to be shooting out, and you're both going to be shot at. I think that's what they mean by kind of dealing with enemies ignoring kind of companion characters.
Hopefully. I just hope they don't mess it up, because
We'll see.
I don't like that at all.
Because we're
That's
both
the
going to play
danger.
this game.
Yes,
we both
100%.
have decided we're playing this game.
Uh-huh. It's going to be a whole series of podcasts. Nothing but... We're going to turn into the last... Instead of it between class, it's going to be between last of us.
Between the last of classes.
Yeah. All right. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Gameplay, release date, trailers, and news. More Respawn stuff. Yay. I really just did this one because of the release date, which is November 15th.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Right around the corner. Also, really close to my birthday.
That's a month and a half away.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to get you anything for your birthday.
Fuck you.
Wait. I could get you Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh.
So don't buy Jedi Fallen Order. I'll go talk to your friends. See if they can scrounge up some money because I'm poor.
Dude, everybody is. So yeah, November 15th. That's wacky. I just thought that was like,
it's really
close.
soon. They just released the first like in-game footage at what, E3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, actually. Well, I guess this game's been in
It's
development.
probably been in development.
Well, I know
for a
it's been in
while.
development for a long time because everyone was talking about.
Didn't they? I thought they had news about it at E3 2018.
There was news about, like, I think things happening, but there's no like real specifics on it. And this is like people have been waiting for like an actual Star Wars game where you play as a Jedi for a long time, or like a nice kind of action
Jedi
game.
Academy, one of the old action Jedi games.
Yeah. I mean, but like people are also disappointed because Star Wars 1313 got canceled.
Oh yeah.
Which was back in, I want to say 2012-ish era.
Yeah,
around
really
there.
old. Back when LucasArts got bought out.
Oh yeah, no, it's and like that was a big hit because people were really expecting that game. It was being written by Amy Hennig, who did the Uncharted games.
Yeah, that's really disappointing.
Yeah.
That is extremely disappointing.
And I like her writing a lot, actually. Like, it's
she's
very
a
good.
very good writer.
Yeah.
Uncharted 2 better than Uncharted 1.
Of course, like that's no debate. Just the train scene.
Yeah, the train scene.
Train scene, it's great.
Train scene. Yeah, it's good. It's an Indiana Jones with a video game.
Basically.
So up next, we got a little bit of in Minecraft news because Minecon was this week.
Go die in a hole.
This isn't all of Minecraft news, bro, but I thought this was dope. So Minecraft Earth is launching in early access this October. I think that this is legit something AR that I'm going to get because you get to build little Minecraft sculptures in real life and then you can see them. Like if someone builds like a house on campus, you can, and you're in Minecraft, you can see the house and you can like adjust it a little bit.
It's a cool idea, but I think I have to see it first. I have to see it like done first, but augmented reality stuff is, in my experience, not at the level it needs to be at.
I don't think it needs to be that much. You just need a flat surface and then just boop, boop.
Oh no,
boop,
I
boop,
understand
boop,
that,
boop,
of
boop.
course, but like I'm waiting to see how good it looks. And maybe this is the thing that pulls it off and changes my idea of what augmented reality is.
I think that gives it an advantage because Minecraft doesn't need to
it's simple.
look. It's
Yeah,
very, very simple graphically.
Yeah, you can. If you have glaucoma, you can play it.
100%. I don't know why that matters. Isn't that like the thing that you smoke weed for?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't know.
I'm
that
really
sentence.
confused now.
No, so am I.
Why did you say glaucoma?
I don't know.
Do you mean like color blindness?
Well, don't bring that up. I'm very sensitive about that.
Oh, you can see red. Oh, what color is this life bar?
I'm red.
Anyway, very interesting. There's gonna be penises everywhere, 100%. You only need.
I really hope they don't. People just don't use it to draw penises.
Dude, people are going to use this for graffiti, 100%. And it's gonna be fun. So last thing in our news, at least, and this is old news, but I recently learned about this, that the Joy-Con drift issue with the Nintendo Switch, it's leading to a class action lawsuit against Nintendo. And there's an update. The update is that the Nintendo Switch Lite is also being included in this now.
Yeah, okay, so first let's explain Joy-Con drift.
That's more of a you thing. My Joy-Cons have not drifted.
Well, neither of mine.
Oh, okay, so...
So how about I do this and then you'll explain whatever.
Yeah.
So Joy-Con drift basically is this thing where people start to notice that for whatever reason, the Joy-Cons for the Switch and the Switch Lite, kind of the cursor or whatever you're using will move without you touching it. It's something that was kind of present on the Wii, actually, with the nunchuck. But usually you'd fix it by just unplugging the nunchuck and plugging it back in.
Eventually, all joysticks drift a little bit, but this was happening really, really early. Like, my PlayStation... Yeah. I had a PlayStation 3 controller that I had for, like, 5 years or something crazy, and then it started drifting at the end of it.
Yeah, but, like, I'm curious to see how this case goes, actually, because either there's two things that could happen basically. Either Nintendo wins and they don't have to pay anything, and it's kind of just like a thing that their users kind of just have to deal with, and maybe they'll put out controllers that have been improved, but probably won't though. Or Nintendo will lose. They'll have to pay a fine, but that fine will be like next to nothing to them because it's Nintendo. They have plenty of money. They're not hurting really. It's why they are able to spend so much time in their game development phase.
Definitely, definitely.
That's always been the Nintendo play. Like you
make good games.
You make good games. You make kind of solid games that aren't really going to break too easily, games that are pretty polished from the moment they're released, and I respect them for it. So yeah, we'll see how this goes, but it's not going to make much of a difference in the long run, I don't think.
I think there might be a chance that they lose it or at least pay a settlement, because I've been hearing about this ever since the Switch launched. That's never happened to me, but I also don't use my Joy-Cons very often. I use the Pro Controller.
See, I love my Joy-Cons.
You love your Joy-Cons. You use them all the time.
Every night.
Every night you play fork and knife. You eat dinner with your fork and knife.
Yeah, I do. That's good.
You do. You sip your freaking slurp juice while you eat with your fork and knife.
I don't think I've ever had slurp juice in my life.
So that's it for news, and we do have a little bit of thing called a mailbox. Not a literal mailbox, an email box.
I mean, if you want to send me letters, I'd appreciate it. But,
yes. Send us mail.
My parents haven't sent me mail in like months, and I'm getting kind of sad.
We will get a P.O. box if this takes off, so leave a comment if you want us to get a P.O. box, which we will do. But we have an email, which is betweenclasspod@gmail.com, BETWEEN, between class, CLASS, pod, POD@gmail.com.
Thanks for spelling that out. I don't know if they would ever known that.
So hey, you don't know. Hey, you never overestimate the intelligence of an individual, because then you'll end up regretting it.
Don't insult the intelligence of our listeners.
I wasn't. I was insulting the intelligence of an individual. There's a difference.
Of an individual
all
listener.
Of you, yes, all of you are extremely intelligent people.
From our one listener.
Hey, man, you got to start somewhere. But that's it all for this week.
Love you, Frank.
Love you. Yeah, Frank, you're out there. I see you, you single Albanian viewer, you. Albania's going in the hashtag. It's going in the tags, baby.
Okay, sounds good.
Signing off. It's class time. Blake, Ryerson, and Morgan. I'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Whack. Oh, no. Blake here. You just listened to the Between Class podcast, and I hope you had a good time. You can support us by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, clicking that little bell icon so you get notified when we upload, and showing your friends. So go ahead, have a great week, and I'll see you between class.